Welcome everyone to The Point with your host, me, Jeff Spikes. I'm super happy to be here, as I always am. It's been, I've been on the road quite a bit. It's been over 20 days of me traveling, and it's interesting learning self-care in different environments and when we're in different situations, right? It's anyway, but I'm out here doing it and really enjoying it. I have had time to take some breaks. I've seen beautiful parts of the country, and I've seen amazing sunsets and sunrises, and that's something I really love. If I could wake up every morning to a beautiful sunset and go to bed every night, or end my day with a beautiful sunrise. I just said that backwards. I do that a lot. So if I could wake up every day to a sunrise and end my day, maybe not go to sleep, but end my day with a beautiful sunset and use those as my perfect times just to relax and breathe and listen to the universe, I probably would. And I may be chasing weather for a while because I've decided I really like a cool temperature, even though I'm a desert dweller. So anyway, beautiful to be here. I'm continuing to appreciate and enjoy all of the comments that are coming back. Most of them are coming back from the little clips and stuff that we're putting out there, which is awesome. If you're looking at the podcast, you're on YouTube or in Spotify or Apple, but whatever it is, hit subscribe, hit like, whatever it is in the format you're listening to. I really appreciate it, and I'll keep it coming. I have been hitting consistently now an episode every week, and I'm really enjoying it. That consistency is paying off, and I'm finding that it's working laterally in many other things. Today I'm gonna talk a little bit about that. Consistency is so important, and that's a small part of what I really want to share about today. I'm also getting ready to start bringing on a guest occasionally. But one of the things that I really want to push on is about being present. And there's a lot of information out there about being present there. And I want to make a few points here. One is, I want you to take a minute to breathe into the question and the query of yourself as to how often are you looking externally as your gauge for everything that's happening, and how often are you looking internally? And because I think we do that a lot. So when we think about being present, we think about being in the present moment with everything else and everyone else. I can be present by just noticing this water jug that I carry with me. I can notice the emblem and the shape, and that's a snowflake in the middle, maybe because it keeps things cold. And it's a flame on the outside, maybe because it keeps things hot. I can notice the black, and that it looks like one of my pets or animals has chewed the edge of the handle. I can just notice these things and be present. And that's outside of myself. One of the most challenging areas to be present is with ourselves. And this idea that our feelings are delivery mechanisms, when it's important that we learn to be present with our feelings, right? And with our awarenesses, with what we're seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling. We want all of our senses. We want to notice those things. And then it's important to really stick with, to delineate between the difference of what we're actually experiencing, those facts that we're experiencing, and all of the things that we may or may not be making up about it that has a lot to do with how we feel, or a judgment or a sense that we have that causes us to go on these outside tangents. So there's an art to being present in general. It's very easy to be thinking about tomorrow and yesterday and just all the things, right? And planning. And depending on our strengths, that can be a healthy place to be. If we're clearing and learning from our history and our past and things that we experienced so that we can either duplicate amazing results or stop other things from happening anymore, right? So in order to have the ideal life, we can really be intentional and do these things. And we know this, right? We know this, and we've spent time proving this. This has been true for thousands of years, right? It's I mean, is it not? The laws of the universe, whether we argue about them or not, and bring in all the different ways that we could look for things that are dissonant. We could if we look at what we agree with and just get rid of all that and just think about it. The laws of the universe have been real, have been accurate for how long? Thousands of years. How long is gravity, right? That's been, so just because there's PhDs and scientists today studying, proving more about the power of the unconscious and the reality that our thoughts and our words create. Our thoughts and our words, how we're speaking to ourselves, how we're thinking within ourselves, and how we're sharing with others, create realities, create physical realities. So there's no okay, I'm going to stay slow here for myself because I'll get excited and talk about 10 things at once. But I really want to be clear on this, because when we're being present with ourselves, when I want to be present with myself, it's important for me to breathe. It's important for me to allow myself a moment of silence. If you are a person like me that historically you have a belief, I can't really find silence, I don't know how to do that, I promise you, you can. The way I initially found that silence and calm and peace worked for me was in some pretty chaotic situations. I was in a cattle pen, working a gate on the ground with animals much larger than me, and I was keeping them from going in or out of the gates and managing that flow. And the heightened awareness of my surroundings, the necessity of paying clear, focused attention towards all these things going on to keep me safe and to not get run over by a cow or gored by a horn or something else. All of those things, staying safe and keeping all those things in my focus, allowed the rest of my consciousness to relax. Keep the comments and the questions and the phone calls coming. I really appreciate everyone that's connected with me over all this. So make this a beautiful day, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us for another amazing episode of The Point with me, Jeff Spikes. The greatest compliment you could give me is liking, loving, and sharing this episode with all your friends. So please, if you're on Spotify, iHeart, or iTunes, leave a 5-star rating and review. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe. Make sure to tag me. I love hearing from you, the listeners of this show. The links for all my social and iTunes are in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to engage with me in anything related to my coaching, consulting, speaking, or programs, please visit jeffspikes.com for everything you would need to know to engage with me offline. And lastly, thank you for your time, your attention, and your consideration. This is The Point.